A new PlayStation Plus update is now available and we know the next set of games leaving in January. God of War wins big at the PlayStation Blog Awards, a quick roundup on DualSense Edge previews, The Last of Us HBO producer praises the game's story, and The Witcher 3 surpasses Ragnarok. All that and more in today's PlayStation news. Let's get into them. New PlayStation Plus update. Let's start with a quick overview of the PlayStation Plus games added this month and the list of games leaving the service for extra, deluxe and premium users in January. Now available for download are Adventure Time Pirates of the Caribbean, Ben 10 Power Trip, Evil Genius 2, Far Cry 5, Far Cry New Dawn, Far Cry Primal, Gigantosaurus the Game, Judgment, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and Middle-earth Shadow of War, Mortal Shell, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deathfire Ultimate Edition, The Escapist 2, The Pedestrian, Worms WMD, Yakuza 6 The Song of Life, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and WWE 2K22 for PS4 arrives on January 3rd. Again, a reminder to don't claim Mortal Shell on PS4, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor or Yakuza Like a Dragon, as doing so overrides your free monthly license, losing access to the games when they leave the game catalog. Deluxe and premium users also get Oddworld's Ape Exodus, Ridge Racer 2, Pinball Heroes, this one has trophies and an easy platinum, so definitely check that out, and Heavenly Sword as a streaming only. As for games leaving the service this month, Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Pillars of Eternity just left, but now we know the 10 games that will leave in January. That includes Bound by Flame, Electronic Superjoy, Enigmatis The Ghost of Maple Creek, Leo's Fortune, Masters of Anima, Seasons After Fall, Shines The Lightning Kingdom, Space Hulk Tactics, The Council and The Last Tinker City of Colors. All leave the catalog on January 17, so if you were interested in any of these games, it's your last chance to play them. Plus Grand Theft Auto Vice City leaves on February 20 and WWE 2K22 on March 13. What do you think about the last PS Plus update of 2022? Which games are you going to be playing? Share your opinion in the comments. Sony recruiting gamers to help customer support. As reported by PlayStation Lifestyle, Sony is seemingly recruiting gamers to work as part of the brand's support team. Sarmina Khan, a PlayStation Lifestyle editor, received an email asking to be part of the team. We have teamed up with the folks at Limitless to offer you the opportunity to put your PlayStation knowledge to the test and get paid for supporting other players with their questions. The email takes you to the Limitless website where you will register and pass an assessment process. If you are selected, you will earn a $10 sign-up bonus and up to $1.20 for every question you resolve. Have you received the email? Would you apply knowing all the details? Let us know in the comments. Sony Teases Big 2023. In an interview with Famitsu, Sony's VP of Platform Experience, Hideaki Nishino, talked about what is next for the PlayStation brand in 2023, teasing that it will be very important for PS5. A Google translation of his interview mentioned, "I can't talk about the specifics at this time, but I hope you will look forward to next year." He talked about the console's stock issues and how lockdowns in Shanghai were challenges that had them struggling to meet the demand, and now that the situation improved, they expect to sell 37 million units by March. As for the very important outlook for the platform, he pointed toward huge releases such as Final Fantasy XVI and Resident Evil 4. Plus, there's the PSVR 2 launch in February and a rumored new PS5 model with a detachable disc drive. He mentioned that the PSVR 2 headset was developed in parallel with the console by a different team, saying the USB-C port in front of the PS5 was put there in anticipation of connecting both devices. PSVR 2 will apparently take a huge part of Sony's CES press conference on January 4th, as we can tell by the thumbnail in the scheduled livestream. Nishino also referred to the idea that Sony abandoned the Japanese market, which he said makes him very sad and is working on changing that mindset. What are you hoping to see from the platform in 2023? Voice your opinion in the comments. Bluepoint next game tease. Bluepoint Games put out the Great Demon's Souls remake at the PS5 launch, but since that they haven't talked much about what they might be working on. In a PlayStation blog post where all Sony studios and partners shared holiday cards, Bluepoint's card showed a tree with 4 presents in front. One represents Demon's Souls remake, the other Shadow of the Colossus remake, the Leviathan Axe as they supported Santa Monica in God of War Ragnarok's production, and there's one last present at the back. The latest rumors on what the studio is working on hinted at 2 projects including a new IP and a remake of a beloved game. What do you think Bluepoint is working on next? Do you think we'll learn about it in 2023? Place your bets in the comments. God of War wins big at the PlayStation Blog Awards. The annual PlayStation Blog Awards have come to an end. These are picked by readers on the blog where they can vote for the nominees or even nominate a game not mentioned. God of War won big, taking all 10 categories it was nominated for, including PS5 and PS4 Game of the Year, Graphical Showcase, Art Direction, Audio Design, Soundtrack of the Year, Best Accessibility Features, Best Use of DualSense, and Best New Character with Ryan Hurst Thor. Other winners include Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 as Best Multiplayer, Warzone 2.0 for Best Ongoing Game, Gran Turismo 7 as the Best Sports Game, Stray sneaked out with Best Independent Game, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves is the best re-release, and Hogwarts Legacy was the most anticipated game of 2023 and beyond. Congrats to all the winners in what was a fantastic year for PlayStation games. Do you agree with these results? Any other game you think should have won? Voice your opinion in the comments. DualSense Edge Quick Preview Roundup. Sony has shared a new video on how they came to design their new DualSense Pro controller, where several designers talk about how they took feedback on the original design and added new things such as paddles, swappable sticks, and function buttons to allow for switching profiles on the fly. We even get to see some of the PS5 screens where you can configure the device. If you haven't watched it, check the link in the description. Several outlets had the chance to check the new controller, with The Verge's Sean Hollister saying that battery will take a hit, but everything else seems just as good if not better than the original DualSense. IGN's Jada Griffin had concerns with the steep price being half the price of a digital PS5, but said it's a very well designed controller with a lot of potential for people who want to customize their controls from top to bottom. Still, it's poised to be special for those who want a premium controller for the PS5. While GameSpot's Jake Decker was also positive, saying that overall, the DualSense Edge feels like a nice option for PlayStation owners that might have been looking at Xbox offering with Pro Controller envy. For $200 you will get a controller that has a familiar form factor, improved ergonomics, some new feature options, and a good level of customizability. If you want to read more about these previews, you can check the links in the description. The DualSense Edge launches on January 26 for $200. Are you looking to get the controller? Does this change your opinion on the device? Share with us in the comments. The God of War TV series will be true to the source material. In an interview with Collider, Vernon Sanders, Amazon Studios head of TV, talked about what fans can expect from the adaptation. Sanders referred to the success of previous Amazon content including Invisible and The Boys, and he knows there's such a passionate fan base for God of War. He mentioned they are always looking for a real emotional core and narrative story to any adaptation, and he thinks that's what makes God of War so special. At the center of it all is this story of fathers and sons and families set against the giant epic landscape. So what Rafe Judkins, the showrunner, and Mark Fergus and Hugh Osby, the writers, have come up with for the first season and for the series, I think, is both incredible true to the source material and also compelling on its own. If you never played the game, you will fall in love with the show and feel very much invited in. So we think it's going to be huge. Interestingly, he mentioned a first season, indicating we could see multiple ones. What's your hype level for a God of War TV series? Sound off in the comments. The Last of Us HBO producer praises the game's story. Craig Mazin, producer for Chernobyl and now The Last of Us, has praised the story of the games in an interview found in the latest issue of the Empire magazine. Mazin said, "It's an open and shut case, this is the greatest story that has ever been told in video games." And he refers to the characters being just normal human beings that didn't shoot anything out of their eyeballs. He further explained, "They were just people, and that in and of itself is remarkably rare in games. The fact they kept it so grounded and really made you feel, I had never experienced anything like that, and I've been playing video games since 1977. While it can be argued if it's the best story ever told in games, I can agree with Mazin that the fact these are just normal people with their own struggles you can empathize with adds a lot of weight, making it a fantastic story. I really can't wait for the TV series to premiere on HBO next January 15. What are your hype levels? Less than a month for that? Share with us in the comments." FIFA raises the weekly sales cup in the UK. In a turn of events in the weekly UK sales, FIFA has taken the crown from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, given the increased interest in the soccer game due to the World Cup. That's according to GfK data shared by GameIndustry.biz. God of War Ragnarok followed them closely in third due to a 23% sales decline, while Nintendo dominated the middle of the charts, then Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Remake debuted at number 8. 70% of the physical copies of the Final Fantasy VII prequel were sold on PS5, with 12% on PS4 and Switch, and 6% on Xbox. So overall pretty good for PlayStation. What do you think? Share your opinion in the comments. The Witcher 3 surpasses God of War Ragnarok. The Game of the Year battle in 2022 has been between God of War Ragnarok and Elden Ring, but a third challenger has appeared out of left field. The Witcher 3 received its long-awaited next-gen version, and it has become the second highest rated game of 2022. Geralt managed to get a 96 Metacritic score with 25 reviews, tying with Elden Ring, but surpassing God of War Ragnarok's 94. The PS5 version introduced quality of life changes, DualSense features, 4K textures, 3D audio, activity cards, ray tracing support, a performance mode, among other features. The game looks amazing despite some issues with cloud saves and expansions not registering for some users on PlayStation. Have you gone back to replay what was 2015's Game of the Year for many? Let us know in the comments. A round of quickfire game news. The Paramount Plus app joins the group of streaming apps for PS5, at least in the US for now, so you can watch Halo or any other of the Paramount movies or TV shows on your PS5. Sharefactory has received a new update on PS5 adding 10 creator packs, FIFA 23 themed beats, enhanced editing tools, and more. We now have the first look at PSVR 2 box art ahead of the device's launch in February next year. Nothing too fancy, it's the same PS5 box art with a small ribbon indicating the peripheral is required, and it's a bit smaller than how it looked for the original PSVR. Kojima Productions continues celebrating its 7th anniversary, now with free Death Stranding 2 BB-Pod avatars for you to claim from the PlayStation Store. Use these codes depending on your region to get them. EA's FIFA has managed to get the World Cup winner right for the 4th time. A simulation running the game got Argentina winning the whole thing, with Lionel Messi getting the Golden Ball and Emiliano Martinez leaving with the Golden Glove. It's the 4th time the game has gotten the prediction right, as it also got 2018, 2014 and 2010 winners. Need for Speed Unbound launched a couple of weeks ago, and Criterion is getting ready for a series of post-launch updates including new cars, customization content, free new modes, social features and progression for Lakeshore Online. New details will be shared near the end of January. Final Fantasy XVI has been rated by the ESRB ahead of its June 2023 launch on PS5. The description says it has blood splatter effects, acts of violence, and sexual material, plus a strong language. It might be the first time a main entry in the series gets such a rating, with some of the most violent getting teen rated, although spin-offs such as Stranger of Paradise and Type O got M rated as well. Square also shared the first look at Muggles in Final Fantasy XVI via Gematsu, and they look just as you would expect, so there's nothing to worry about if you're a purist of the series. And those are our PlayStation stories for today. Do you have any thoughts on any of them? Share them in the comments below, let me know your feedback by liking or disliking this video, check out other videos you may enjoy while you're here, and consider subscribing for more on PlayStation. Thank you so much for watching, my name's Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hype!